Hi, I'm Jordan, and today at Hillman Films, we're going to review the new John Wick movie. Some say it's great. In fact, most of the world does. However, there's a few others that disagree, and today we're going to have a debate. Spoilers ahead, though. Well, today we have Jacob here defending the film, and my wife, Casey, attacking it.
I'm going to kill you.
Like I said, today's going to be a debate style. Who's correct on this movie? Most of the world agrees with Jacob. However, the cynic in me loves to side with Casey.
We're not attacking it. I'm just highlighting some weak points in the film.
You're downgrading it.
There are two objectives with the show today. One, convince you, the audience, who's right. The movie good, movie bad, meh, greatest ever, who knows. Objective two, convince me, the judge. I'll try to remain impartial, but I have my own opinions. So let's get started. We'll first start off with Jacob.
How? Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. First of all, the movie's amazing. You can't deny that at all. Cinematography, acting.
In the movie, I'm glad the acting is so far. That's not good.
There's only one subpar actor in this movie. So, there you go.
Who's the subpar actor?
Don't worry about it.
Who's the subpar actor? I think you should tell the audience.
The dog.
The dog? That's not what you said last night.
That's not what you said.
Okay, let's just get down with some basic facts here. This, addition to the franchise apparently grossed over 150 million globally. Opening weekend was 73.5 million, which tops the charts for the franchise altogether, which is impressive. But my question is, did it make that much money because it's a good standalone film? Or does it have the weight of the entire franchise behind it, and that's why everyone went? Because that's why we went. Because I love John Wick films, and I was like, I don't want to miss it. I go, I didn't see a John Wick film. I saw what we saw.
Well, see, this movie as a whole was more as a leading point into the further universe of the franchise. We've seen John Wick's story through 1, 2, and 3. He had his time to rest up. Now, his story ended when he killed the Elder at the beginning of the movie.
But that doesn't make any sense. Okay, we're skipping a bunch of points, so we're just going to get into that one. What was the purpose of killing the Elder? That, we were talking in the movies, because I can't be quiet during the movie, that was setting up a whole storyline, and then they just derailed it and went back to this whole marquee thing.
Because he wanted the ring. He wanted his wedding ring back, and they were like, no, you can't have it. And so what are you going to do now? You ain't got nothing else to do. You came for nothing. And he went, no, I didn't.
Pause. Wedding ring?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was a
and
little
the third
confused.
one.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, you remember in the third one where whenever he went to the elders and he was like, prove your worth, and he went, okay, cool, and then cut his finger off, his wedding finger off.
I guess I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I believe you.
I didn't see that he was missing any fingers.
He's missing a finger.
There's no continuity there. I have a few questions. I'm going to butt in here, kind of interject real quick.
Okay.
If Winston knew about the duel, why did he not say that at the end of the second movie, or at least the third movie?
So, the end of the first movie, John was in the clear. He just came back to get revenge on the kid who killed his dog and stole his car.
Theo Greyjoy.
Yeah. And
Always
then Theo's dad came in as revenge, obviously, as one does, and John killed him. And then John was like, you know what, I'm done. Cool, I got my revenge, whatever. And then went to go rest. And I said, I'm done. And then old dude from the table came up and was like, hey, heard you're back in. Here's a marker. My sister took my place instead of me. You need to do that. And then there you go. And then that follows into him trying to kill him and their battle in the second one, and him not really getting any rest between 1 and 2. And then at the end of 2, John kills him in the Continental, and Winston was like, dude, there's nothing I can do for you.
You fucked up.
You fucked up. So he shoots him. He he tells him like you're excommunicado.
Shoots him off the roof.
I'll give you some time to go. Like you have this amount of time. And then that's where the third one picks up, is him trying to get everything that he needs to get done before his time runs out. And then that third one is, oh, we need to kill John. And John's trying to get back in, kind of, but not really. And then you see him go to the elder, and the elder's like, prove your worth, cut off your finger, cut off something that matters to you most. And that was his wedding band from his dead wife and his wedding finger. So he cut that off, and the elder,
Ring finger?
his ring finger. So the elder kept the ring, and then John went back because he was supposed to kill Winston. And Winston, in order to keep his Continental, shot John off. So it was either one or the other had to prove something in order to stay within it. And then they both decided to go against it. But then at the end, Winston was like, I'm better off thinking for myself here and not John. And shot John off the roof. So he didn't have time to tell him about it.
By the way, I'm going to insert an overlay here of that singing. John should be fucking dead. If not, a broke back.
No,
I'm not talking about the bullets. I'm talking about the fall.
So that's in the fourth one, you open up. You know what I mean? Like 1 through 3, he had no rest. It was back to back to back to back.
Well, he is an assassin, so he
Exactly.
should be prepared for that.
And then, so in the fourth one, you see him like a couple of weeks have went by, or like a month or so have went by. And I mean, you'll see a little bit more of that because, like, tangent, and we'll get into a little bit later on, the spin-off movie that they're coming out with, Ballerina, takes place between 3 and 4. And you're going to have a cameo of John Wick in those movies. So.
See, but I feel like, so this movie, first of all, was almost 3 hours long.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the same time, there was so much in this movie and also nothing. Like, there are so many details and absolutely no sustenance to the actual movie. Like, all potatoes, no meat. Because, like, who is Mr. Nobody? Why is he important? He has no backstory. He's just walking around with a cool backpack and a cool dog, randomly shooting people. Kane, I don't know where that dude came from. He's out of nowhere. He sounds like he has a super interesting backstory, but all of a sudden there's just this blind man with wicked cane moves.
So I gotta point out that part kind of irritated me. He was like a fucking Daredevil character, but he couldn't see because that scene where John is supposed to be like, he thought he was dead and he had to be quiet. So that means he clearly doesn't know, he can't see in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I'm gonna shoot the fuck out of everybody and stab him. I kind of was like, this is goofy.
I feel like, okay, so here's my thing. For this to be the final John Wick installment for the franchise,
Supposedly.
I feel
Spoiler.
like you clicked on a movie review, folks. I don't know what you're looking for.
It was a joke.
If this was supposed to be, this should have been a revenge tour. Like, this should have been John going through the table and just sniping every single one of them, killing people left and right. But instead, he just went all around the world and got by a kidney shot that from Kane. It was the most anticlimactic death.
We got shot 3 times.
Spoiler.
Well, so I don't want to pile on with a lot of the negatives. I still have more I want to address.
Yeah,
I will hit it with some positives so I can try to remain impartial. The
Like-
scenes were great. The cinematography, the settings,
Amazing.
beautiful. Like the Tokyo, the hotel,
Continental.
the hotel at the beginning with the green lighting and he hit that and all the ninjas were out there. That shit was cool. That was my favorite fight scene. Was only the first 2 minutes.
That's what I like. How they shipped it. Like, it was like red, but everybody's like, hey, standoffish. And then whenever he gave them the green light, everything was green.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
disappointing. I didn't notice that.
That was cool. But what the scene where the duel took place, thought that was beautiful.
That was great.
Yeah.
Even Winston was like, look at that. Look at that sunset.
The 45 minutes getting up the stairs to the duel was an absolute waste of time.
Well,
That was one of the. See, this movie has comedy.
Okay, see, there's the next bullet point on my list. I don't go to a John Wick movie to laugh. If I want to laugh, I'm gonna go to an Adam Sandler movie. When I asked Jordan, when I come out of a yes, I love Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler.
I go to get turned on.
Oh my god.
That's what I was saying.
When we leave a John Wick movie, I come home and I am convinced that I know MMA and that I can whoop my husband. I left this theater just furious. I was not empowered. I did not have this completely unrealistic idea that I now could be an assassin myself. I was just furious because I don't go to John Wick films to laugh. I go to just be blown away by his immortality or mortality.
I'm gonna 100% agree with you at this point. I don't go watch John Wick to watch a Marvel movie. I know that's the only movies that they make high budget anymore. That and Top Gun. Make more movies like Top Gun, please. Yeah, that was a great movie. Make more movies like that. Make more movies like that that aren't just like fucking political and that aren't Marvel movies. Thank you, please. Anyway, back to the comedy.
What a tangent.
Well, I'm talking about Marvel movies. I don't go watch John Wick for a Marvel movie. There are multiple scenes throughout the movie I can name. The Kane eating the food, the noodles, while everyone is like dying in the kitchen. That was Gucci.
That very much gave me Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, and I did not appreciate it in this setting.
I got 2 more points.
Yeah, hush your mouth.
The inhaler. That was in there for comedic purposes only.
I didn't like that character.
And the
at
final
all.
straw, people got up and people were cheering and laughing when this happened, and I almost walked out because I was like, this is too stupid. When the dog pissed on him at the end.
Oh, that was so infuriating.
First of all, hilarious.
If I was watching Marvel,
Hilarious.
Captain America.
Hilarious. So here's the thing. John Wick has been setting up a universe. Everybody's wanted to know more about this universe. In the first movie alone, they set up so much
I hope
in
you
this.
are not about to
Everybody
say.
was like, I like this and I want to see more of this world.
I agree.
This is better. They're doing what every other movie franchise is trying to do and make a cinematic universe like Marvel, but they're doing it better. They are.
No.
They
did not.
Name a better movie franchise that has tried to do what Marvel's done that has done it better than what John Wick has done.
I didn't understand that question. You went in circles. Explain it again. What was the question?
John Wick, as a franchise whole.
1, 2, and 3 maybe, but 4.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
No. That's
all
not
great
nothing.
movies. All great movies.
You're gonna pit the first John Wick against the fourth John Wick and say equal. That's what you're telling me right now. That's what you're telling everyone right now.
All great movies.
No, answer my question. Yes,
all
or
great
no?
movies.
Equal?
It goes 1, 4, 3, 2.
Buffoonery.
Done.
No.
I feel like my personal opinion is 1, 3, 2, and then 4.
I do like that.
I would just say 1, 2, 3. 4's not even on there. It's horrible.
So I get what you're saying.
So
I don't think
you see what I'm saying? Like they're
that's-
setting up like the whole universe because everybody wanted to know more
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the underground.
And that's why I wouldn't mind like a
So-
prequel or anything like that. Setting up like, hey, how the fuck do these people just function in our society, right?
Exactly.
They-
Like how do they differentiate? Because the cops leave them alone.
Yeah.
You say that. You
In
see
the
that
first
in the
movie.
first movie where
It's
he's
like
like, "Hey,
Godfather.
John, you working again?"
Makes
And
sense.
he's like, just doing stuff.
But the only problem with it is how they did number 4. I wasn't fine with it. Because 3, 4, they're like, oh, it should be Marvel, right? Marvel's something new. But they're taking the humor from Marvel. And people are fucking tired of that in Marvel, which is already kind of like light and goofy. This is not supposed to be light and goofy.
Well, see, it's more action packed than anything than it is comedy. Marvel's like, I'm gonna hit you with a joke. I'm gonna hit you with a joke. I'm gonna hit you with a joke. I'm gonna hit you with a joke.
I felt that way here.
This one, see, with the noodle scene that you're talking about, I thought it made sense because he's not there to kill everybody. He's there because Sonata's one of his friends too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm out of this. You giving me one name and one name only, John Wick. That's who I'm going to kill. I'm not going to kill anybody else.
But then he killed
You just
Sonata.
said.
He didn't want to. But then he didn't want to either. Sonata made him kill him. You know what I mean? Because he was like, take your daughter and y'all go, because I'm obviously gonna kill you.
All right, so one last thing about that. I did feel like there was a joke like every 10 minutes,
There
like
was.
Marvel, which is why I was like,
In Marvel.
I told her on the way home, I was like, they can have jokes in the movie.
No.
3-hour movie, you're allowed
One joke.
You're allowed
One.
3.
No,
It was
you
like
get
10
one
minutes.
joke.
No.
You get one joke.
Like the stairs was pretty funny.
I was so pissed when that happened. Because
This-
like,
I
I got
was like-
tired watching it.
Because I was like, oh, cool, you made it up the stairs. Awesome. And then you get kicked down after you're already tired. I was like, that's hilarious. But also, I see where it's out of place in a movie as the whole, because it's a serious situation and they're trying to rise the tension up. Because everybody was feeling like this was going to be the last John Wick movie anyways. Because it's kind of like the end of John's story in a whole. The third one was half-assed the end of John's story.
I think
This one just had to expand on it a little bit more and set up more things to come within the universe. That's kind of like when you said something about Tracker, Mr. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He has the pamphlet pretty much of the whole universe. He's going around, he has the symbols, he knows what's what. And that's like Marquis was like, how'd you find him? How'd you find him before we found him? And he's like,
Because the Marquis has no talent. He has a credit card, and he just practices it all the time.
Alright, so since I've dogpiled on enough about that, I will give a positive now. I felt like the acting, other than John Wick, which I love Keanu.
he's great
His acting was horrible.
in this movie.
He had, 480 lines?
380.
380 lines. I felt like it was 10.
Words. Not lines.
Oh,
words.
Words. All right.
20 lines.
Alright,
maybe.
so, but like I said, I don't want to dogpile, I'm going to give a positive here. The acting for most of the characters were great. Sonata, great actor.
Great.
Like I
His
think you
name
said
is-
last night, he's the Asian Sean Bean.
Yeah, his actual name is Hiroyuki Sanada. Hiroyuki Sanada.
Okay.
I'll probably butcher that. My bad.
Yeah. Sean Bean,
Hiroyuki
right?
Sanada. Yeah, you know, Sean Bean.
No, Sean Bean, he's Ned Stark.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
dies and everything.
He does everything. And
Boromir!
yeah.
Hey.
And Sanada is pretty much dies in every
From a
movie
good
that he's in
movie.
as well.
And the Marquis, don't know the actor's real name, but he's
Bill
the,
Skarsgård.
what is it?
Bill Skarsgård.
He is the clown
That's a
from
perfect
It.
name for him.
Yeah.
He's the clown from It.
Well, he's-
I thought he did great. His character was a punk.
It was a punk, but he wasn't cartoonish, because a lot of villains in this, like in movies like these, in action movies, are very cartoony. John Wick is the only universe really that doesn't have cartoonish villains. Other than, and I know you're probably going to point this out, besides the actor or the character Killa.
Is that the inhaler guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Played
Hold up
Played
now.
by Scott Atkins.
Was that really that one?
Yes.
I
He was
was,
a badass.
the whole time I was like, he looks familiar, but I couldn't
Yeah,
place
they
it.
put him in a fat suit.
That's hilarious. By the way, his name is Killa.
Killa.
There's only-
Killa.
There's only one Killa in my universe. It's Tarkov. That's the Tarkov
yeah.
bad guy.
Oh my
His
God.
armor literally named after him.
That's nice.
Yeah. That's why I entered overlay there. That's why I was quiet.
So hang on.
Yeah.
I have more negative because that's my whole viewpoint. Is this movie was horrible?
You're doing negative. He's so I'm trying to be back and forth.
My turn.
Yeah.
The opening scene
More negative. Let's be honest.
where he's underground, I'm assuming, and punching. First of all, it
My
was
favorite line ever delivered.
unnecessarily loud. Like the loudness had no purpose over the other
That's how
characters' lines.
That's how loud I want.
Second thing, as a John Wick fan, and with this being his final chapter, I would have much preferred a like internal monologue that is like very, I don't know, like philosophical.
You had one.
Like-
the Bowery King was giving one. It's an actual, I forget the name of the actual poem or haiku that he was quoting, but he was giving one.
That's how I want. I want John Wick. Like, I want the story of his life and what led him to this final chapter.
I'm gonna
That's
do-
what I want to
I'm
hear.
about to disagree with you there because do you want to hear this for 45 seconds? Hi. Yeah.
No, I want to
For
hear.
45 seconds.
I
I
want
don't
it-
just hear nothing.
No, I want to loop back to the first John Wick, and I want him to talk about everything that has led him up to this point. Because at the end of this movie, what is he? What is on his
A
headstone?
loving husband.
Okay, and that was him his whole life.
But see, you didn't need that.
Yes, I did!
You didn't need that.
Oh, yes, I would rather have this.
Watch the first movie, watch the second movie,
That's
and
what
watch the third movie. You have his purpose and everything leading up to this one. Like, you have his
My
backstory.
blood pressure is getting
You have it.
So why did we need 3 hours? Why do we need 3 hours? His first 3 movies did so much.
Because this is a jumping point for the other universe. Also,
So
the
we
action
martyred-
in this movie is amazing.
So
you need action in this movie.
we needed action in the movie. We didn't get action in the movie.
We got like
We got a bunch of
3 or
Walking Dead
4
henchmen that refuse to die because apparently they are dipped in Kevlar.
Yeah.
They got up 27 times. John Wick shot them 3 clips worth with 1 clip, by the way. He did not change clips enough. Magazine. He didn't change magazines enough.
Well, see, look. In the second one, you're introduced to the Kevlar suits. You're introduced to it. In the third one, you're introduced to who was it? The Adjudicator brings in the Table's pretty much hitman, where they're just suited up.
Yeah, you had to get slugs to get them.
Yeah, you had to get slugs, and even then they were getting knocked down, but they were getting back up slowly. Like in this one, they were getting up, but slowly. You know, like everybody is like it's set up.
The fight
Nothing
scenes.
doesn't happen in these movies for no reason.
So I agree with you and agree with you.
You can only agree with one.
No.
Pick a side.
No, because both of you were wrong on some parts, I think, in my opinion. The armor, they had armor, so they couldn't, that was kind of consistent. Let me phrase it.
And they were
They
doing
had
Dracula
armor.
cover.
They had armor. So that's why they could withstand some bullets.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't consistent. I will say that. Because he shot some people with a pistol and they went down, and he shot the guy right next to him and he was like nothing. He was like, alright. The same slots too. So then he got a rifle, he did the same thing, and like sometimes the rifle would penetrate, sometimes it wouldn't.
Penetrate. I'm sorry.
By the way, a rifle
you don't
will
get
penetrate that fucking vest, that suit that he's wearing.
You know that.
Also,
If it's realistic, if we're going realistic.
these fight
Do you
scenes.
think these movies are realistic? Please tell me Fast and Furious is realistic.
Insert John falling off the roof again.
Or whenever he's fighting killers.
Hey, the fight scenes, the choreography for the fight scenes was unbelievably disappointing because it gave me very, very early on Bruce Lee kung fu films. Because everyone moved so slow. And the whole movie, all you hear is and then they're moving in slow motion though.
Well,
They're moving so slow.
I'm going to disagree with you here. It's because they are getting tired. That's more realistic.
So they're fighting for 35 minutes and no one is falling.
That's why I disagree with you, but then I agree with you because the fight scenes were fucking too long.
The fight scenes
the fight scenes were way too long.
The well-lit
So look,
the well-lit room, no, you shut your mouth. The well-lit room in the
Tokyo Hotel.
the Tokyo Hotel was 20 minutes long.
amazingly.
No,
It was
they
great.
just rolling around. It's horrible. This is John Wick.
You don't know how
Move
big
faster.
you don't know how big the Continental is? That's huge. It's so huge. It is.
There was a continent.
It was the Continental.
Oh, okay.
You don't know how big that place is. It was John fighting from the rooftop, through the kitchen, out through the back door where he came in. Actually,
I
He
don't
came through
mind
the
that,
back
but
door,
we're in
so we
the
had to fight his way
same room
out.
with all the little, like, I
Glass
don't know,
panels, yeah.
glass panels for 20 minutes. I got bored, and it wasn't just me that got bored. The guy that was sitting on the other side of Jordan was going, like, the whole time.
It was too long because like.
I'll just swap seats with Jordan so I can sit there and talk to him.
Because like normally he would do like a group of bad guys come in, he'd take care of them, right? You move on to the next.
Like, the settings
scene.
should be changing
Yes,
faster.
but it was the same scene, and like, oh, group of 5 guys, group of 5 guys, group of 5 guys. I'm used to that on video games. We're supposed to be realistic, right? So I agree with you there. That was too long. I got tired watching.
It was boring.
The action movies and the action sequences in this were great. We're not okay. They might have been 3 minutes too long.
20 minutes too long. If you
But
cut every fight
here's
scene
the
in
thing.
half, the
Look
movie
at-
would have been an hour.
Look at every
Swear to God.
look at every John Wick film
Yes.
and watch how they because you have to progress the action, and it, like bigger is not always better. But in the John Wick film, the bigger they are, the better they are. This one isn't terrible because they went big. Like you've seen hand-to-hand combat, you've seen the gun-and-gun combat, you've seen the knife combat, you've seen the vehicular combat. In this one, they just turn it to 11 and they up it. The fucking roundabout in what? Rome? Paris?
That was so boring.
Paris? Dude, that scene was awesome.
It was terrible. They're just not playing in traffic.
It was completely.
I've won you over at this point. I know I have.
Who's gonna get hit? When are they gonna get hit? Like, who's gonna get shot? You know?
We don't know because no one will
I thought
die.
it was cool whenever he was like slinging people like off to the side, and then like a car hit one dude, and he followed him up and down, shooting him. That was badass.
That was pretty cool.
So I mean, and as far as which I talked about earlier, the dog pissing on old dude after he shot him in the head. I mean, the dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want the dog to get his revenge.
Okay,
Did we forget what John Wick started?
Okay,
They killed the dog.
I am so glad you brought that up.
And guess what?
The
John
only-
Wick saved that dog.
Okay, here we go. That was a perfect opportunity for the the perfect line for the entire franchise. Is John, Mr. Nobody, watch John Wick kill a man and not defend himself from Mr. Nobody.
He didn't kill him.
He didn't
Because
kill him.
He didn't kill him.
shoot him. Because that dude was shooting at Mr. Nobody's dog. And that was a perfect opportunity for Mr. Nobody and John Wick to look at each other and for John to go, "You don't mess with a man's dog," and then hobble off.
Oh no, that would have been too cheesy. That would have ruined it.
That would have been too cheesy.
That would have been way too cheesy. That would have ruined
Whoa.
it. Because John is a man of few words, as you've seen in every movie that you've seen. Like, he's a man of few words. He's not going to go.
The entire reason we had a John Wick franchise is because John Wick's dog got killed.
Exactly.
You think John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4 would have happened over the car?
Look,
No, it was over the dog. And this was the perfect little bow to tie up the whole franchise with a little cherry on top.
I go
Was the dog.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
You
The
tell me,
dog,
but
the dog got forgotten by number 2. Because number 2 was about, started out with,
You've lost them all at this point.
I need my car back.
So,
Number 1 was about, I need revenge on my dog and getting my car back. Number 2 was like, I need my car back.
I would agree. It would be cheesy. It would be cheesy.
Yeah.
Less cheesy than the dog pissing on him.
Or less cheesing the 45-minute fall downstairs, or the noodle eating,
I think it would
or
have
the
been.
inhaler.
I think it would have been cheesy, but it would have been better than what they did.
Henchmen don't have inhalers. I'm just gonna say it.
You know what I mean?
So-
It's more of like you don't have to, the audience knows why he did it. Alright? Every time that Tracker's
Why did we make
on
4?
screen is because you don't know what I didn't get about his character, and I'm gonna get into a couple of negatives. What I didn't know about Tracker's character is that every time he's on screen, like at the beginning of it, when he finds him at the Continental in Tokyo, he pretty much goes, you're not worth the money. And has the drop on John. Like, could have killed him. And
Which
he's like,
is interesting because
like,
he is the most wanted assassin in the whole
but he
universe.
was only worth $20 million, and
It's only $20 million.
less than what he needed. So he was like, all right,
What's
you
he
can
got
go.
money for?
But see, then whenever he went to the Marquis, and the Marquis was like, yeah, 25. Or what was it? Yeah, it was like 25, 23, and the word is, I'll give you 23. He was like, all right, cool. So all he needed was like $3 more million, really. So I was like, okay, cool. But then, so if anybody else would have killed John, he wouldn't have got the money. So every time that somebody was trying to kill John, granted, he probably.
So he's just babysitting until the bounty is high enough.
Exactly. That's what he was doing. And then
That's
at the end
horrible.
of it, whenever they're actually in that building fighting each other, and he's actually trying to kill John at this point, so then John's like, I got you now, you're done. And then sees that old dude's about to kill his dog, and he's like, I'm not going to be the reason another dog dies, because now he felt responsible for his other dog dying, so now he's not going to be responsible for this dog dying. Kills him, or shoots old dude, makes him fall down, and then old dude's like, oh cool, you saved my dog, you're actually not what everybody says you are, despite me seeing you're not as everybody says you are throughout the entire movie.
So what you're saying is that was a very pivotal scene.
Exactly.
and it didn't get the attention that it deserved, which is exactly what I said.
No, you're
And
saying.
now he's on my side.
I will agree.
You talk yourself into a circle.
I said this that night. I understand him not wanting to kill him for his dog, right? Because he saved his dog. But at the same time, the bounty's worth that much. He only cares about money. You're
How do you know he only cares about money? We know nothing about this character.
That because he keeps asking for more. The fact that he didn't kill him afterwards was really dumb to me because he's like, I know what you're thinking, honor, right? They're assassins. They kill people for money.
No. There is brotherhood. They're all assassins. They're not supposed to be working each other.
He doesn't even know John Wick's name. I mean, John Wick doesn't even know his name.
No one knows his name.
He's not
He
even.
has no name.
You know what he's credited as on IMDb?
What?
Tracker.
Really?
But he introduces himself as nobody.
Sarcastically and passionately every time, and then we learn nothing else
But
about
see,
him.
What the thing about it is that he learns more about it because after John kills Killa, and he's running away, and he's walking away, limping away, Tracker has a shot on John and is going to take the shot, and then Kane stops him and was like, kind of explains to him, whatever, like about the whole situation. And he's like, yeah, you're blind, oh yeah, you understand because they took your eyes. And Kane's like, no, I took my own eyes.
No, I gave them to them. What he says.
Yeah. All right. So I got 2 more points I want to bring up. One negative, one positive. I'll go with the positive first. The guns were cool. I'm a gun guy. I'm gonna insert a meme there. I'm a gun guy. I like that they introduced the Pit Viper. He trained with Terran Tactical. Love those guys. Follow all their stuff. That's their guns. He trained them, obviously. The Dragon's Breath were so dope. I gotta go get some. Like I said, the guns and the gunplay, the reloading with all that was spot on. Yeah, spot on. I love that. I love that he kept checking the mags. They pushing down, checking chambers. Sometimes he would just steal mags and guns off the other people. They kept it going. That was pretty cool. What did you think about?
See, because you gotta think about the gunplay in this whole movie was very consistent. Like in every gun that he had, he reloaded after the exact amount of bullets that fit that magazine. Like in his main pistol holds 15 rounds. He reloaded after 15 rounds every time.
That is such a big claim to make. Count?
Every time.
You count it.
We can't get the footage to hear count check.
Google it.
Roll the tape.
No, so we all like the gunplay, so I'll just jump to my negative.
What's your negative?
My last point, the negative. Dear God, was John Wick cringy, especially and mainly in the first scene, whenever I'm gonna have to demonstrate it for the audience.
Yeah.
Do you have a weapon? Yeah, that was bad. They should have just, if he was...
Wait, and then the random Asian dude next to me gets domed.
If they were going to do that, they should have just gone ahead and done like a freeze frame comic book overlay with like the fight scene right there. You know how they do in those kind of movies? Because that was horrible. I really feel like we were sitting through an unedited rough draft of the movie. I was expecting Ashton Kutcher to come out. At that point, I was like, what is happening? Keanu, baby, what is going on? They did him dirty. I feel like he's tired, and I feel like chapter 4, he's like, I'm 58 years old. I am exhausted. This is a 3-hour movie. I can't imagine the man hours that went into filming this. But I kind of am understanding now why he moves so slowly. Because he's like, I physically can't move faster. I'm nearly 60. I'm a senior citizen at this point. And this poor man is just trying to get through this film. And it feels like they were like, okay, it's your final film, Keanu, let's go. But let's open up all the jokes storylines for all these other people who have spin-offs. Because the director, what's his name? Chad Stahelski or whatever. He's like, oh, I really want to explore the Kane storyline. And I'm like, oh, so you just killed off John, and you're like, let's move on to something else.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this movie was a jumping point for the expanded union.
So they sacrificed the John Wick franchise. They red weddings.
Kane's a very interesting
John Wick
character.
franchise.
Kane's an interesting character in and of itself. You see that from the beginning, where he's just pretty much living his life. He's retired just like John was. And the Marquis calls him back, and he's like, "No, I'm done. I'm retired." And they're like, "Oh, did you not forget? We give you a life, or we take a life, aka your daughter. You got a little bit too close to her today. Don't do that again."
Good question. Okay, in this universe, if they're all assassins, why can't we just kill people? The Marquis is like, I'm gonna kill your daughter. And he's like, oh, okay.
Well, then he'd be like John Wick. He'd be on the line. Everyone would be after him.
So why don't all assassins just turn on the table? That would have been a good movie. See, Kane, the guy at the other Continental, his daughter, all of them should have joined together and said, oh my gosh. We're taking out the table.
I'll agree with you.
That would have been a chapter 4.
Okay, I'll agree with you on that one. I did too. Like, I thought that, like, the Tokyo Continental and everything, like, whenever they all meet up, because Sonata, Donnie Yen's character, and John, they're all friends from back in the day. So, I mean, Sonata's character, Shimizu, butchered that name.
How's that?
So, him, Kane, and John, they all used to be friends. And then, of course, like, they kind of drifted apart because Kane retired. Sonata stayed in it. He's head of a Continental. And John retired. He wanted to live a normal life. Same with Kane.
Yeah,
But with Kane, they're like, hey, you know, we're just going to give you a name. You take him out. Your daughter stays fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I think it's such a dangerous game to play with assassins.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Is that this is where I'm trying to agree with you at. Is that those three right there, I thought that we're going to, like, form a bond in it. And then I also thought that Tracker was going to be part of it as well. And then it'd be that right there. But then I think what they kind of wanted to do that, but then they thought that, hey, we kind of want to do an expanded universe on this, and if we go ahead and put all these people in it, then everybody's going to be like, okay, now you're just blatantly ripping off the pictures.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to do that, but it would have.
They did rip off the Avengers.
But it kind of, they wanted to do that, but the fans wouldn't like that because. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
this fan,
you know what I mean?
Didn't like it.
All right, so we're at 40 minutes already. I got one question for the both of you, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Give our final.
Oh, yeah, I got
my final question. I have for you. All right, I got a final question for you, y'all. Do you think Kane died at the end, the post-credit scene?
So, my theory on this, right, is that what's her name? Akira, Sonata's daughter, she was coming at him, and you hear the switchblade. Like, you hear it. So he's an assassin, a badass blind assassin who has, like, superhuman hearing. He could hear that, obviously. And he was carrying his cane, which is also loaded with the blade. And he was right there by his daughter. So, I mean, what I think is going to happen is, Kane. Movie number 1 in his franchise, or even in a TV series about him, that it's going to open up where John Wick Chapter 4 ended.
Okay.
And then that's where his daughter is going to find out, oh, you've been alive this whole time. You know, and then it's just going to be them fighting, and now he's got to protect his daughter. Because Marquis been, you're free. You're done. You're good to go. We're not going to go with your daughter.
Marquis is dead.
The adjudicator heard it and confirmed it. So, I mean, and per the rules of the table, that's now binding.
So I'm glad you said that because you got to cover your answer plus spin-off.
Exactly.
All right, what do you think? He died at the end? Kane died at the end?
No.
No.
If he did, that would make a bad movie worse. Because this blind man with a cane has annihilated 465 people in this one movie, and then this vengeful daughter gets him with a switchblade in the middle of town square. I don't think so.
Yeah. It would make John Wick Chapter 4 null and void, to be honest.
I think the sound was him killing her.
See, I personally want him to die at the end, not because I hate him or anything, but just because, like, I'll fuck you.
I'm just curious that he was the one that ended up killing John Wick.
That was kind of.
I thought it was.
Flying in a duel. That kind of.
Here's my other theory on that.
Dumb.
I don't think John's dead. Because you don't see him die.
The back
You just see
situation.
him. You just see him pass out. Really, from little. He got shot in the arm. He got shot in the chest, and then shot in the kidney.
But what would?
But he's also
Got
been
head
shot
stones.
several times before, like right there and right here and been stitched up and went back to killing it without rest.
What would be the pros of faking his death? Because no one's after him anymore.
Exactly. Now he gets to just live his life.
Well, I mean, even if he was alive, he did his duel. Everyone, no one's after him ananymore.
Yeah.
So I don't
So
know.
like in the first one,
Stop doing another circle.
no, because in the first one, his wife clearly goes, "Live your life," and just pretty much tells him like, "Hey, live your life," don't whatever. Like I forget like the exact words of it, but
I guess I kind of get it.
You know what I'm saying?
If they think he's dead, then no one's going to come.
Nobody's coming after him.
No one's going to come
Revenge.
asking for help.
exactly, like he's just done and done.
Well, the
I think
stranger
that
did too.
Winston,
Well, that's not.
I think Winston and the Bowery Queen, like they know he's alive, but they're like, we're done with it. And if they ever go and do the spinoff with Kane, or even with the ballerina, because they say that the ballerina is taking place between 3 and 4, and that John Wick's got a cameo in it.
Are you saying ballerina?
Yes, ballerina. It's a spinoff of the Russians that John.
Why did you talk about how dumb that storyline
Yeah,
was?
so. All right, so we're already 45 minutes in. All right, Casey, I want you to give your conclusion. 30 seconds or less.
Movie was bad. That's it.
You can give me a
I don't need a full 30
Give
seconds
me
to
a
tell you.
rating.
0.
Out of 10?
I did anything! Just 0!
All right, Jacob, you.
Doesn't matter the scale! A 0 is a 0, man! There's no scale!
Nothing at all.
Alright, I'll
You
give
could
it a
just leave it
1.
from existence, and it would make no difference in the world.
It wouldn't. In my mind, John Wick Chapter 4 doesn't exist. It just doesn't because it was a 3-hour date night.
The hell
that
storyline.
We went to dinner and that was it. Came home, I remember nothing.
All right, Jacob.
Alright,
I
first of
dare
all, John Wick Chapter 4, phenomenal acting, phenomenal fight scenes, the choreography, the cinematography, everything about this movie was great. Alright? Great movie. Storyline wise, whatever. You don't go to the John Wick to watch the story, you go to watch the action.
You don't go to a movie to hear the story,
Alright?
okay?
It's a popcorn movie. It's a popcorn movie. You can go to Transformers, you can go like, ooh.
I'll go watch Transformers.
Exactly.
Alright, my final wrap up. Jacob did a very good job of arguing. And when I initially came into this, hated this movie. I knew after this, I'm never gonna watch it again. It's 3 hours long. It's
It doesn't exist.
It's not worth the time. But what I will say is, when I came in here, I was gonna give this like a 2 out of 10. Jacob has argued some things. I'm gonna give this a solid 5. 5 out of 10. That's just my opinion.
I give it a solid 8.
And everyone can have their own opinion.
Out of 10?
Let me finish. I'll let y'all talk. I'll give it a solid 5. I give it a solid 5. I initially came in hating it. Jacob, he kind of gave me some perspective of like how they were trying to do it. I just didn't like how it came out. Didn't like how I just didn't enjoy it. So, anybody got any one last comment you want to make? I can add it in.
Don't watch it.
Casey's wrong like all women,
Hey,
and we're right.
make sure you keep
Praise for
that in.
men.
Make sure you keep that part in.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not a good movie. Spend your date night elsewhere.
Go watch the chick flick. Okay.
Adam Sandler, you can't miss.
Well, guys, that wraps it up for us. We hope you enjoyed our review. Maybe if you did, you like and comment, subscribe. Maybe we'll see some more. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.